Hey guys, it's Barrett with the Gaming Camper. So we've been up here at Cherry Hill Park here in, technically it's in College Station, Maryland, but we're visiting the Washington, D.C. area. We've had a great time. I'm just going to kind of show you why we chose this park and do one of our campground reviews on it since we're here. We've actually already left. We're already back home, so I'm having to do this in the camper because we didn't have very many days there. And I've been kind of in a little lull. I've been all behind with projects at home. I'm renovating my mom's bathroom. I've got behind, so I've not, had a video in a while, so I want to get one out to you guys. And I'm going to try to start my weekly videos again here this week. So like I say, this is going to be Cherry Hill Park in College Station, Maryland. And, it's not really the type of place that I choose and seek out a lot, but we'll see what the pros and cons are here in just a minute. This is a very large park, and it goes in more of that resort category than I really try to get into. I usually avoid resorts. We do more of the state parks, more of the recreation.gov type sites, but occasionally we do throw a resort in, so this is going to be more in that realm. So you guys that like the full hookups and stuff, you're going to be happy. However, we decided to give this place a try as it was the closest place that we could find to visit our favorite big city, Washington, D.C. As far as general information, this is a very large park. Like I say, there's a lot of amenities here, and we'll get into those in just a few minutes. There are a lot of RV sites, both pull through and back in. They also have multiple other ways to stay, including cabins, yurts, tent sites, and the neatest looking little glamping pods that are up in their tent area. I was really impressed by those. A lot more impressed than the glamping pods that were at Fontainebleau State Park down in Louisiana. Anyway, so we'll start off with cellular speeds here. Cell speeds are great. My first net speed had a download speed of 138 and an upload of 22. The Instant Connect was actually a little bit slower, which does happen from time to time, but it was still very fast and usable at 77 down and 16 up. And then the Verizon that my wife had, hers were still quite usable, but they were a lot slower in comparison than the FirstNet. So the Verizon download was 29 and the upload was 21. So let's talk amenities. I told you there's a lot of amenities at this campground. There are a couple of pools that aren't open as it's cold with a wind chill of 32 during our trip. So it's a little bit too cold to be going swimming. There's also a splash pad that looks like it would be a lot of fun for the kids in the summer as well. They do have a mini golf course. I thought it was great that I saw a sign that said all the proceeds go to Children's National, which I'm assuming is the local children's hospital. And there are a couple of playgrounds that are very nice and scattered around the park. There is a catch and release pond. They actually said that they stocked 2 ponds there on the premises. One's right next to the dog park and one's at the other end of the park. That is catch and release, and I can't remember, I think they said bluegill. Might be some catfish in there. I can't really remember, but it is catch and release. Talking about the dog park, they do have a pretty nice dog park there, but I will say that it's pretty close to the interstate. So if your dog doesn't do well with noise, then it probably won't be that helpful for you. They have a basketball court that is complete with a basket on both ends. I know many parks that have a basketball court just have a single hoop. So they did go above and beyond there. There is a small indoor fitness area as well as an outdoor fitness area with some basic equipment. I'll say that they did a great job with their laundry service that's available. A lot of places, a lot of parks, if they do have laundry, they only have 1 or 2 machines, and that's at best. And this park has multiple machines, and it'll help you get those clothes clean when you need them done. There is trash pickup scattered around the park in custom-built housings that look very professional as well. The bathhouses are well taken care of and clean. They are very nice looking from the outside. However, on the inside, it's kind of the basic block building style, but it's clean and usable, and that's all that I asked for personally. As far as transportation goes, there is a metro bus that comes directly to the park, and it can take you to the metro station. You're going to be very close to the metro, and it's on the end of the Green Line for both the College Park station and the Greenbelt station. Both of those stations are about a 4-mile drive. And so we just drove. However, you do have to pay for parking if you drive, but I didn't want to like get on the bus and have to wait along the bus and get there. It's still like a 45-minute train ride from the stations there all the way to town. And so I think the bus, I never actually took the bus from the park, but I think it's about 30 minutes. I will say that after April, they also do tours there directly from the park with their own bus, which would have been nice. However, they didn't offer that service yet. We did do the 3-day unlimited passes for the Metro, and those are $30 each. I actually think that you may save a little bit of money if you don't get the unlimited passes because, you know, you don't use that a whole lot in those trips individually. If you pay for them, I don't think that they're going to equal $30 a day. So I think that's where they get us tourists. We just went ahead and did it, but it was $90 for the 3 of us. So let's talk about the negative aspects of the campground. You know, unfortunately, there are a few negative aspects to this campground, which we do have to discuss. The first 2 issues are pretty universal to any RV resort. You know, number 1 is the site space. None of these sites here have a lot of space. That's just the way it is in a lot of these places. This is definitely one of those areas, though, that in my opinion, it's better for traveling in your camper rather than camping. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're in your camper and you just go around and you stay somewhere, and that's your home base while you go out and you explore, other than just, you know, staying there in your camper. But they do have amenities. Some people like that. I'm not going to judge you. You do your way, I do my way, and nobody's way is wrong, right? So the number 2 thing that I have to talk about is the price that's associated with these types of places are usually more than I'm comfortable paying. However, when you do remember that a hotel room in the area is probably going to be somewhere between $200 and $400 a night if you're not looking at a roach motel, then it's not a horrible decision. I can't remember exactly how much this was. I did have a gift card where we had made a reservation before because I was going to go to a conference there. I think it was a 1-night deposit, and I got that back on a gift card to use at a later time, and I think that was around $90. Somewhere between $70 and $90, I think, is the nightly rate. But I'm not real sure about that. The only other big negative factor to the campground for me is the road noise. You're only a few feet from I-95, so there's quite a bit of traffic noise. When you're over on the other side of the park, I noticed that you still hear a lot of highway noise. I didn't realize until I investigated this on Google Maps, which I'm going to share an image with you right up here. But I-95 actually curves kind of around the campground, so that's why you can hear it kind of no matter where you are there at the park. This is the area where I usually talk about preferred sites. You know, unfortunately, there aren't any preferred sites here. All these sites are equally as acceptable. You're only going to have, you know, 4, 6, maybe 8 feet between you and your neighbors at any side in the park. And usually I am able to find some, you know, on the ends and stuff where I think that it's a lot more space, and that's where I would pick. But in this particular park, I have to say that I didn't put one space in front of the other. Like I say, they're all about equal in my book. And I think that it's still, you know, a decent place to stay while you travel and you explore the city there, because of the price difference of the hotel versus staying somewhere like that. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I will say that we explored the city. We had a lot of great time there. I'll probably do a video about our adventures and show you some things that we did along the way, as well as on the way home, because we did only have 3 full days in the city there, and my wife was working from remotely, and so she had to work till about noon every day. Me and my daughter kind of went and we explored a little bit beforehand, and then my wife met us later. But on the way home, we did stop. I wanted to stop 3 places. I wanted to stop at Mount Vernon. I wanted to stop at the Stephen Hazy Center, and I also wanted to stop at Monticello. We got 2 out of 3, and we didn't have time for Monticello, but we'll get back there and do that eventually. But thanks, guys. Like I say, if you're looking for somewhere you can have a home base and explore the city and see all the memorials and all the history and all the Smithsonian's and all that stuff, this is going to be a great place. I did see, you know, they have some signs there actually showing that they've owned and operated in some capacity this park for 100 years now, and that's saying a lot. I'm actually going to show you a little clip of that while I'm going to overlay that here. But I want to say that, you know, all the staff members and everything that we talked to there were nice and professional. It's gated. It feels very secure. We didn't have any issues on the subway. And so, you know, it's a great place. I like it, but as in usual in these large cities, you got to be on your toes. You got to think about your own security. The one last thing that I meant to talk about was sites to avoid, and I didn't have any particular sites to avoid because there weren't any that stuck out as being worse than the others. Like I say, there's barely enough room to park my truck at my site, and a lot of these issues were like that, but I did notice they had some overflow parking as well. All in all, I think that the good outweighs the bad here. And like I said, I do recommend it if you want to visit the DC area. It's more than I usually want to spend, but again, going back to comparing to those hotel rates, it's not a bad bargain. So that's what we chose to do, and just sharing that with you. And if you're looking for somewhere to go, you might want to check out Cherry Hill Park.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.